Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into a topic that really impacts us all, aviation safety. We're focusing on Ahmedabad, a major aviation hub in India. And its history, well, it holds two really significant fatal accidents that offer some critical lessons. There's the recent 2025 Air India flight AI-171 crash. And going back further, the 1988 Indian Airlines Flight 113 disaster. So our mission here is to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising facts from the source material on these, kind of a shortcut to understanding what happened.
Exactly. And it's more than just the headlines, isn't it? It's about connecting the dots, understanding why these things matter for, well, the whole picture of aviation safety in India. It really shows how safety isn't, fixed. It's always evolving, always learning.
That's a great point. And the 2025 Air India crash is obviously still very fresh. June 12th, 2025, Air India AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, crashed just minutes after taking off from Ahmedabad's runway 23, just devastating nearly everyone on board, plus several medical students on the ground when it hit a college hostel near the airport.
Yeah, and the initial findings, well, they point to a really complex chain. Sounds like an engine technical issue combined with the aircraft's tail hitting something. A mayday call went out right after takeoff. Yeah. It really underscores how aviation safety isn't just about the plane, but also the airport surroundings, even, urban planning nearby.
Right, and the immediate aftermath. Black smoke, hundreds of emergency responders. What's striking is how local places like BJ Medical College were again central to the response, just like back in '88. And you saw those economic ripples too, right? Aviation stocks dipping, talk of insurance costs rising. It affects the whole industry.
It really does. And speaking of '88, let's maybe pivot to that Indian Airlines Flight 113 crash for some context. October 19th, 1988. A Boeing 737-200 crashing on final approach from Mumbai. Tragically, 133 out of 135 people on board lost their lives.
So what were the main factors there? What went wrong?
Well, investigators highlighted poor visibility fog was a big issue. The official conclusion, primarily pilot error. The crew tried to land without proper visual confirmation. They essentially descended below the minimum safe altitude, lost awareness of where they were vertically.
Wow.
But importantly, it wasn't just the pilots. The report also called out air traffic control. Inadequate communication, failing to give updated visibility for the runway.
Okay.
And the airport itself had problems.
Yeah.
Part of the instrument landing system, the ILS, wasn't working properly. That system helps guide the plane down.
So it sounds like a confluence of things. Human error, ATC issues, some infrastructure limitations, a perfect storm, really.
Pretty much. And that,
thinking about other big incidents in India, like the Charki-Dadri mid-air collision in '96, that was horrific. 2 planes colliding, over 300 fatalities. What can we draw from that?
Charki-Dadri was a stark, terrible lesson in human factors and communication breakdown. The investigation found the Keza crew didn't maintain their assigned altitude. This was made worse by, well, poor English skills and failures in crew resource management, basically, how the crew works together.
Right, CRM.
Exactly. And that tragedy directly led to India making the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, TCAS, mandatory on all commercial aircraft. A huge technological safety leap.
So when we look across these events, Charki-Dadri, the Ahmedabad crashes, maybe even others like Mangalore in 2010 with the runway overrun, you start to see recurring themes, don't you? Pilot decision-making under pressure, difficult weather, ATC communication challenges, and issues with airport infrastructure like those tabletop runways or just buildings getting too close, urban encroachment.
Precisely. And that brings us back to how these tragedies, sadly, drive change. After the 2025 Ahmedabad crash, for instance, the DGCA, that's India's aviation authority, they proposed tough new draft rules. These aircraft demolition of obstructions rules would give authorities power to, well, remove or trim tall buildings or trees near airports that violate height safety limits.
Oh, okay.
It's a direct response aimed at preventing something like that Dreamliner hitting the hostel again. Systemic change.
So wrapping up the core findings from this deep dive then, we see these recurring patterns pretty clearly. Pilot judgment, ATC communication struggles, and the critical role of airport infrastructure in managing that urban growth around it. Both Ahmedabad crashes and Charki-Dadri really highlight these.
Absolutely. And each terrible event, however devastating, has been a catalyst. A painful one, but a catalyst for real safety improvements. From mandating TCS after Charki-Dadri to these proposed DGCA rules now after Ahmedabad 2025. It's a continuous, though difficult, evolution.
Yeah, and it's such a critical balance to strike, isn't it? Especially now. India's aviation market is booming, third largest globally, expected to triple by 2033, I read. So balancing that incredible growth with just unwavering safety standards, that remains the central challenge, I suppose.
It does. And perhaps something for you, the listener, to think about is this. In a world where air travel just keeps expanding, what does it truly mean to ensure continuous improvement in aviation safety? Learning every single lesson and always putting human lives first. What stands out to you